This is a love letter to the restless OTs who feel like they don't quite fit. The ones who sense there's a gap between what you know is possible and what you're experiencing. You're not misfits, you're trailblazers. And that restlessness you feel, it's not something to fix. It's something to propel you forward, to move you toward that values lighthouse, that light that calls you in to do what's really aligned. You know who you are. You're the OTs who see things a little differently than the constructs we usually work in. We're the big feelers and deep thinkers and the better way seers. And many of us land in private or independent practice out of these feelings of misalignment or even moral distress about our jobs, rather than a burning desire to build empires. We found entrepreneurship because we couldn't do our best work. We couldn't serve our community at our highest capacity inside the boxes and systems that defined our clinical jobs. And our profession, by definition, is expansive. Our frameworks are holistic. Our calling is crystal clear. But we often felt oppressed by those systems we were working in. So we thought private practice would give us some relief. I can be more nimble, more client-centered. I can adjust my pacing. And yes, there was some relief. But along with that relief, we encountered new challenges. How do I do this or that? The loneliness of solopreneurship, deinstitutionalizing our thinking, and the reality of money. I need to be paid, but I really don't want to ask people to pay. And then there's identity. Who am I outside of this box? There's uncertainty in the great expanse. One OT shared with me that I got lost in doing all the things for everybody else, so much that I'd forgotten who I was. In private practice, we encounter trouble promoting ourselves, underpricing, not maintaining boundaries, selfless overgiving and overfunctioning. Because we're just not sure, we're not feeling solid. You can burn out in private practice too, trading that 9 to 5 for the 24/7, and being the worst boss ever because this business is your baby and you need to get it working better. One OT told me I was cycling in and out of burnout. Does that sound familiar to you? As humans figuring this world out, we encounter the inner struggles, the doubts, hello imposter syndrome, the stress responses. By the way, you're not a lazy procrastinator, you're a human having feelings. And all of the overthinking and wheel spinning to meet your high achiever standards, those standards that got you here, but they're not serving you right now. And we humans encounter many transitions in our lifespans. Graduation, new jobs, marriage, moves, becoming parents, loss, grief, growing into our own self-understanding of new diagnoses or neurodivergence. Given the nature of the people I support, established OT business owners who need to shift in order to do more thriving and less hustling, I meet a lot of OTs struggling with the destabilizing impact of perimenopause and menopause on our self-understanding, our function, and even our values and priorities. And so here's what I want you to consider. What do you need to help you through these transitions as a small business owner? Is it traditional business coaching? Is it therapy? Is it a visit to your GP or psychiatrist? An ADHD coach? New systems? Or maybe a weekend away with your best pal, or to run away into the woods alone, learning to forage and make pottery. Or maybe that's just my runaway dream. It could be any or all of those things, really. But after 5 years of helping OT business owners through transitions, I've learned a few things. There's a deeply transformative power in safe connection. When you're in community with your people, the other deep-feeling, creative, intelligent, aware OTs who are doing things a little differently, you can unmask. Even someone who was really skeptical about the group setting at first discovered that it was so beautiful because you learn from other people's stories and it reminds you that we're all just doing the best we can. You can turn down the volume on the way things should look in your business and life in a safe community like this and get curious about what it could look like if you were led by your values and your needs in this life season instead of whatever construct of private practice you've seen. What if you had the guidance and experience of a mentor and community that helps you figure out the strategic stuff so you can bloom with possibility and do the visioning? Are we scaling or are we flowing? Are we actually beholden to the systems of typical practice? Or can we go for a walk with a client and then go home and have a bath in the middle of the day? Not with the client, of course. What are the systems we can create that support a way of working that flows with your natural responsive rhythm? Workflows, tech supports, habits, AI heavy lifters that leave room for your unique stamp of magic. Who's in your corner when you aren't sure how to handle the next challenge in a grounded way? Who can see beyond the environments that constrict your perspective and stifle your inner visionary? When we move away from scarcity-driven scrambling and toward values-led leadership, we're less prone to burnout. We integrate our needs into the workflow rather than overcome them. We aren't depleted by the moral distress of working in systems that oppose what we know is right. We become intentionally selective about what we spend our energy on. And as one OT beautifully put it, I get to choose my own hard instead of having it placed upon me. And here's the wonderful part. When we are clear and grounded in how we're showing up in the world, we attract the clients who are most aligned with that mission. We find an effervescent vitality that lifts our spirit and impacts all we do. Mondays can be awesome. And this is what we do in Activate Vitality. We develop the skills necessary to step back and curiously observe the flow in our lives, including our businesses. We get clear on our values. We examine what is and isn't working. We build self-compassion to hold our needs in high priority. We have accountability to help us follow through with those changes. And with grounded awareness and a bunch of ACT skills, we revise our rhythms, we remove the misaligned obligations, we pursue the work that energizes us, we stand taller in self-knowing and humble confidence. We value our time and energy and connect with those who complement it. And we do this in community, in collective compassion and collaboration, and sometimes in tears, but often in celebration. Flow, drive, peace, joy, spaciousness, these make vitality. So we measure our KVIs, our key vitality indicators. Really, together we activate vitality. Heck yes. If this resonates with you, and you've already taken that brave leap into private practice, but find yourself facing these deeper questions about sustainability, identity, and what comes next, know that you're not alone. You've done the hard part of starting, and now you're ready for the good part of thriving. The next step is to reach out to me and book a call. I want to talk to you. I want to understand where you are and see if there's something I can do to help. You don't have to figure this next chapter out alone. With love and compassion, Carlin.